All right, quick question for you. Have you ever felt like you're doing all the right things, eating better, taking some supplements, maybe even working out, and you still feel stuck? If that's you, I want you to hear this clearly. Stuck is usually not a motivational problem. It's usually a load versus capacity problem. And today I'm going to give you a simple framework that you can use immediately to understand your symptoms and make progress without having a total life overhaul. Hi everybody, my name is Dr. Brandon Drabeck. I'm a naturopathic doctor at the Geauga Holistic Rehabilitation Institute. Hope you're having a beautiful day and thank you for joining me here in my office. If you'd like, type stuck in the comments and see if this resonates because you're not alone. So here's the core idea. A load is everything your body is trying to adapt to. This can include poor or irregular sleep, could be mental, emotional, work or caregiving stress, could be inflammatory signals, sugar burden swings, or a gut burden like reflux, heartburn, constipation, diarrhea, environmental inputs even like mold, scents, or histamine type reactivity. And some of us who are very active, it could be simply overtraining and under recovery. But over time, that cumulative strain is described in research as the allostatic load. And basically, it's the wear and the tear on the body when the stress response systems are activated, and these are activated repeatedly and chronically. Now, a capacity, that's your buffer. This is your ability to recover, rebuild, and regulate. And a capacity can include something as just having good sleep quality and consistency, or steady nourishment like protein and hydration or micronutrients. It could be nervous system regulation like downshifting or meditation. It could be movement tolerance and recovery, or social support, connecting with friends or family, or simply routines that are actually sustainable. But here's the punchline. When symptoms often flare, this is because the load is greater than your capacity. Now let's zoom out for a second. There's a health model, it's called Salutogenesis, and it focuses on what creates health, not what causes disease. And this is actually one of the models we use in our clinic. And it's one of the core ideas that's within this model is something called a sense of coherence. Basically, life feels more understandable, manageable, and meaningful. And when we build care plans for our clients, we actually have to follow those three parameters. Those care plans have to be understandable. You have to know, comprehend what we're doing. They have to be manageable. It's got to be easy. We can't be overloading. And obviously, they have to be meaningful to you in your current situation. So why does that matter? Because when life feels chaotic and unpredictable and unmanageable, your stress systems, they stay on. Your alarms are going off. And when we build coherence through simple routines, clear next steps, support, realistic plans, your body gets more of those consistent signals of safety and stability. So in our clinical language, salutogenesis is what are your building resources. We're not chasing symptoms. We're actually building the conditions that make healing possible and repeatable. So just do a little quick check-in for a moment. What feels like the biggest load for you right now? Could be your sleep, could be your stress, could be your gut health or your energy levels. Drop a one word in the comments if you'd like. Now let's zoom in really quick on the biology of all of this. There's another lens that we use in our clinic and it's called Salugenesis. And this was popularized actually by the work of Dr. Robert Naviaux. And he called this, in his work, he actually referred to this as called the cell danger response. The simple takeaway from this is that healing isn't one thing. It's a staged process. And Dr. Naviaux actually describes these phases of the cellular danger response, which are often talked about as CDR1, CDR2, and CDR3. And it's all part of this natural healing cycle with different priorities in each phase. So if someone is stuck, we're often asking, are you still in that strong defense and danger pattern? Are you in a repair mode where consistency matters the most? Or are you ready for rebuilding capacity? You don't need to memorize these phases today, but just simply remember if your body is getting constant danger signals, then your system may not progress through healing efficiency, and that loops right back to load versus capacity. Again, Salugenesis is the biology of those healing stages. Salutogenesis is the resources that support healing. Now, I want to make this practical. So grab your notes app or a small notepad, draw a line down the middle. And in the left column, I want you to pick your top 3 loads. It could be something as you're not getting good sleep. You have some disruption in your sleep. It could be your stress overload. Maybe you're having some gut symptoms like I mentioned before, or blood sugar or energy crashes. Could possibly be some pain or inflammation flares, environmental triggers, or simply overtraining and not recovering. And in the right column, pick your top 3 capacities. Could be having a consistent sleep window, or maybe adding some more protein and water into your daily habits, or doing some low-intensity movement, maybe breath work or meditation, or some sort of downshifting tool. Also getting plenty of sunlight, which here in northeastern Ohio it's hit or miss, especially this time of year. But really anchoring our circadian rhythm and protecting it. And social connection, connecting with friends or family or groups. And just simple routines that you already do even can be very helpful, that you can keep those. Now here's the rule that changes the outcomes. For the next 7 days, I want you to reduce one load by 10% and increase one capacity by 10%. This is the opposite of what we hear this time of year. It's January of 2026. It's the new year, new you, reset, and all the things, and they all fail. We don't need 10 new habits. Again, this is not a total reset. This is one load, one capacity, done consistently. And something I've always taught my clients is that if we do one thing and we do it well, over the course of time, it makes a huge impact. It's called the 1 degree of change. And this is because consistency creates coherence, and coherence creates capacity. So if you'd like to post your load or capacity in the comments, I'll actually tell you a clean, realistic next move. But let me give you some examples. One of my favorites that I hear from clients is, of course, the late night scrolling, lying in bed scrolling through Facebook, right? And getting some irregular sleep. That's a load. A capacity would be, okay, setting a realistic, consistent wake time. And maybe getting 5 minutes of morning light, either if we have sunlight, or through maybe a sad or happy lamp. Another load could be blood sugar or energy crashes in the mid-afternoon. A capacity could be simply having protein at your first meal of the day and going for a 10-minute walk after one meal. Again, another load for the active individuals out there is when overtraining and when you're not recovering. A capacity could be simply swapping 2 intense sessions for some gentle walking and mobility. These are not glamorous, but they are the kind of moods that shift physiology. All right, so here's the takeaway. If you feel stuck, don't ask, what else can I add? Ask, where is my load too high? And what capacity can I build this week? And if you want, I actually have a simple worksheet for load versus capacity auditing. Just simply comment guide and I'll get it to you. And if you want help mapping this to your specific life, your specific symptoms and needs, and figuring out whether you're in a more defense pattern or a repair pattern, book a complimentary consultation call with me. I'd love to get to talk to you about this. And I will actually get you a clear next step. So thanks for being here. Again, drop your load of capacity in the comments and I will definitely respond. And just a quick disclaimer, I'm a naturopathic doctor. I'm not a medical doctor. This is simply educational, and I always recommend if you have a medical necessity or medical need, always follow up with a licensed medical provider to receive individualized care for that need. Otherwise, I hope you have a beautiful day. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. God bless. Take care.